ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, strong style, cinephile. So, Batwoman, Broken Toys. Let's geek about it for a scan few minutes because this episode had a few things going for it that I liked. Got to something that I didn't like that we know we were eventually going to get to. And something that I just really don't like, but it is what it is with this series. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Sophie and Ryan close out this episode knocking boots. We know that's what they were going towards this direction. They did this, will they, won't they? Sophie kissed Ryan the last episode and then felt it was like Ryan was pushing her away after that point. We knew we were going to get here. As I've said before, if this was going to be something where Sophie finds some self-discovery, where she realizes that just going after these women in these bat suits, because she's 3 for 3 at this point now of literally betting the women in the bat suits. Now she comes away from this realizing there's something wrong with her and she needs to get her own self straight on whatever is wrong with her to just has her coping mechanism be women in black leather, pleather, Kevlar, body armor, latex, whatever it is. You know, if they get that, if we get that kind of development with Sophie, cool. Otherwise, it's just reeks of, well, they're in the same spot, they like women, so we'll just put them together. And that is narratively weak to me. I just might be alone in that opinion, but that's my opinion of things nonetheless. Now, the gist of the episode is you have Marcus, who has been revitalized, and they're trying to track him down, but then they don't. Then they see he's on the TV because he's partnering with Arkham Asylum, and he tries to come off as the savior who's trying to help the people that are just wrongly put into Arkham Asylum. The Arkham Asylum is just making things worse as opposed to making things better. He wants to give people chances to better themselves. Really, he just wants to get all these serial killers and stuff under his payroll so he can use them to do his bidding, namely Victor Zsasz. I forget who the actor's name is playing him, but I like how he plays him. I just like the air of just confidence / arrogance, just cool, kind of even keel nature that he plays this vicious serial killer with. I just like it. So Marcus sends him after Jada to recover the tape that has Marcus killing people on it, presumably killing his dad or whoever else. He's killing people on the tape. Sends Zsasz to go get it and to kill Jada. Ryan's there because they're having a moment. They have a moment of catharsis in this episode because Zsasz is about to kill him. And Jada kind of comes to this conclusion through this exchange and later on in the episode that maybe her being out of Ryan's life was better for Ryan because Ryan ended up being Batwoman and overcoming a lot of the crap that's been put on her. Whereas Marcus, as she said, she gave Marcus everything and he's this Joker wannabe, which we'll get to more about that annoyance in a second. But it was good from a standpoint of the episode, kind of gave them time to clear the air, which this is a shortened season. There's only going to be like, 13, 14 episodes, which is good, very good. But it gives them just a moment to clear the air and just kind of come to a different sort of level of understanding with each other, which I think they needed. And again, it kind of feels a little bit natural that they kind of needed this catharsis. Sucks that it took literally staring down the barrel of a gun to get to this point, but they did nonetheless. So we'll applaud them for that. Also, Jada, when Ryan takes down Zsasz, figures out, oh, Ryan's Batwoman. So I'm hoping that it doesn't become like a joke like it is on The Flash, basically, where everybody knows that Barry is the Flash within like 5 minutes of meeting him. I know it's not that, but it feels like it, you know? Meanwhile, you have Mary and Alice go on a field trip to try to find the woman, because they have the Joy Buzzer, so now they need to get it working again. So they seek out the woman, Kiki Roulette, who made the original budget. She's apparently the Joker's, R&D guy. She's the Joker's, or was the Joker's personal Cisco, making plot-specific tech for him to carry out his crimes with. And they encounter this woman leading a group home, but Alice figures out that that's actually Kiki trying to lay low. And this part of the plot was to kind of, because you have, at first, she seems like she's trying to be a better person and get past the violent misdeeds that she did in the past. So Mary asks her, because Mary is still dealing with the guilt of what she did, Mary asks her, okay, how did you deal with it? How did you get over what you've done? because Alice basically told Mary to kind of like forget about it or whatever, and this woman says, well, you can't forget about any person that you hurt. You gotta kind of start there. But then it's real. You find out that she's actually working for Marcus, and seems like what she said is BS. And Mary even brings that up, and she's like, no, everything that I said is real about how you cope with this, how you deal with the guilt of what you've done. I just didn't want to do it. How do you deal with what you've done? Sort of words to Kiki, from Kiki to Mary, kind of filtered into Alice, who just wants to be a different person, doesn't want to be a sociopath anymore. So now Alice wants the joy buzzer because it only has one buzz left. She wants the joy buzzer to make herself normal. Will that work? Who knows? I guess we'll find out more of that in the next episode. The only other issue really I have with this is this Marcus being Joker 2. And I'd seen an article at some point in the last few weeks where it was like talking to him or about him as being like the first black Joker. Like there's only one Joker. We don't need a black Joker. And that's the thing with this on this show, where you can't have Batman appear, can't exactly have his rogues appear, which we've had a few of them, but we don't need these sort of wannabes, these just like caricatures, these like parodies of the actual rogues, because we can't get those rogues. I think that's stupid. Having Marcus, I think the actor's good. He's charismatic. He straddles the line between humor and seriousness and crazy and violent. He brings all that, all those acting chops to the role as Marcus. So why couldn't he just be somebody else original? Why can't we give her something original instead of a Joker knockoff? And I'm guessing this Kiki Roulette's gonna be a Harley knockoff. So we don't need the knockoffs. That's the problem with this show. And that's why some of the people crap on the show, because they're doing this knockoff Batman stuff because we can't do Batman. Like, give her her own true rogues and make them just pull from the comics or make some up for yourself that can be just original and just cool and fun and just carry some weight, as opposed to the knockoffs. Like, I just don't want knockoffs. And that's just, I'm like just getting into the idea of Javicia Leslie as Batwoman. She's like I said, this is a cape-free season 3, so we made some strides in that regard. We still have Alice hanging around, which is ugh. But, I thought maybe with Jada and Marcus, we were bringing in something new with this, but now we're just making him a Joker knockoff. It's just like 2 steps forward, 4 steps back is what we did basically with this show this season. I'm hoping they get a season 4. Again, I think these shortened seasons help. They're not dragging things out. They're not padding out episodes, making stupid decisions for the sake of just padding out an episode. But if they go forward with a season 4, I don't need any more Batman knockoffs, hand-me-downs, whatever. Just make Batwoman able to stand on its own. I think it has enough with Ryan and with Sophie and with Luke. Oh my God, the stupid AI. Like, why are we doing that? Like, we just did it with Iron Man. It just reeks of just wannabe knockoff stuff. Like, we don't need to be knockoffs. Let's do our own thing. Can we do that? It would help out the show immensely and make it a lot better than it is. It's okay. It's not terrible. It's not startlingly good either. It's just kind of season 1 and season 2, the bar is here. Season 3, the bar is kind of like up here, and it's just kind of just meandering along. It could be better. It's not crappy, but it could be better, and that's just where we are with it. I just want better things for this show. Given how they've kind of tried to turn things around in season 3, they need to turn a little bit further, make a few more strides, and things will be better. Will they meet that in the next 2 episodes? And if they get a 4th season, remains to be seen. I guess we'll all find out together, huh? But those are some of my thoughts on the episode, scattered as they often are. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Until next time, let us geek. Oh yeah, it's a freaking hiatus, too. God, those are annoying. But, you know, I guess we'll be here in a couple weeks when it comes back. Let us geek.